Not everybody can go where you're going, and that's a harsh reality that God teaches you. See, people like to say that experience is the greatest teacher of life. I beg to differ on that. I feel like God is the greatest teacher in life. You see, experience teaches you things, and experience can teach you a lot of things actually, but God teaches you everything that you need to know, everything that is applicable to you and your situation. Experience can teach you things that you wasn't even meant to know. It's valuable information, it's valuable stuff you've learned, but it's like studying for a subject that you don't take. It's like if I'm a math student, yeah, I'm studying things of science. It's helpful, but it's unnecessary. And the only reason why experience is because we're going off of what we feel is right. We're going off of what we think we're meant to do. So naturally, it doesn't feel like you're learning irrelevant things because you feel like these things resonate with you at the moment. But that's why God tells us to not lean on our own understanding, because it's our own understanding that enables us to pollute ourselves with information that we just don't need to know. It's nice to know, but it's like I said, it's like studying for a subject that you don't even take. So there's many layers you can look at that. This isn't me saying now, okay, now everything you've done is a waste of time. No, because it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And when you gain consciousness of what it is that you're meant to do, that's the starting point. What happened before that doesn't really matter. So this is why I say experiences teach you some things, and God teaches you everything that is applicable to you and your situation. And this is why I say not everybody can go, because where you're going, you can't take baggage. You can't take baggage from experience. The greatest threat to your future is essentially your last success. Because you see, when we live in that complacency of what we've done or what we've known, we're actually crippling what we could know and what we could do. And that's the difference between experience and God. Experience is what you've learned whilst navigating through whatever it is that you've navigated. Now, 5% of what you've learned through that are applicable to you in your life, and 95% of that is irrelevant. It's knowledge, but it's not wisdom, because knowledge only becomes wisdom when it becomes applicable. And it ain't wisdom. Wisdom is what carries you through the finish line, not knowledge. You can know a million things, but if you can't act on it, what's the point of knowing it? And this is where what God knows comes into play, because God will give you every single tool that you need to get to where you're meant to be. And that's the pinnacle, the crown of life, the pinnacle of whatever it is that you're called to do. Because every single one of us were given something to do. Every single one of us were given a passion, whether it's discovered or dormant. There's something that lies within everyone, and it's on us to extract it. And that's just the reality. And this is why I say not everybody can go, because if you live in reference of what you've known and what you think is right, then when you carry that with you into what you're meant to do, you will realize that it's only an anchor. Something that used to be a balloon that brought you up. When you come into the fullness of who you are, you realize, wait, this thing that I've been looking at that I thought was a balloon, in actuality is an anchor. And that's the difference between the two. So it's almost as if to say, you're gonna have to make sacrifices, you're gonna have to make choices. You see, Along my life so far, I've had to know what good friends truly are through experiencing the very opposite, which is bad friends. And the crazy part about all of it is you're unconscious to it all at the time, because you think you're doing what you're meant to be doing. You're around the people you're meant to be around. They're hot air balloons, but you come to then later realize through the grace of God that it was just anchors. Don't get it wrong. The experience was good because I had to know pain before I knew joy. I carried a lesson, but I don't remember the teacher. I don't need to carry the teacher because I don't live in reference to what's happened or remembrance to what's happened. I live based off of what is unseen yet confirmed, which is from our source, my source, the Lord, God. God's placed a vision in all of our hearts. Whether we see it yet or whether we have seen it depends on the input, but then it depends on the engine that you operate off of. And when you begin to come into the fullness of who you are and you truly decipher the importance of that diamond that's been placed within you, you then come to a lot of junctions and crossroads where you will have to make the choice that other people will not make. But then it becomes natural, because when you realize how precious your gift is, you'll protect it, because heavy is the head that wears the crown. When you've got the crown, you bear a lot of responsibilities, but it only converts from pressure to joy when you realize that it's a privilege to have that responsibility, knowing that you're on a mission where you're coming into the fullness of who you are. Because knowledge is knowledge, but it's pointless if there's no conversion. That's why foundations is everything. And that's why I say I don't think experience is the engine that will drive you to where you're going. It's very helpful. It's very useful. But there's a better way. What you know and what you've done should never limit what you can know and what you can do. And this is why I say not everybody can go. Not everybody can fit. Not everybody can make it. In regards to where you're going. In regards to your journey. You then begin to realize that the same people that were quote unquote your brothers or your family for life, my dog for life, whatever, you then realize I've got nothing against you, but you learnt what true brotherhood was by experiencing the opposite. To have a friend where you are both on the same wavelength, you're both like-minded, you're both driven by the same things and motivated by the same desires. That's true friendship, true brotherhood. Not where you're secretly envying each other, secretly comparing each other, secretly, discussing each other's moves to other people. Like this, we've always known an alternated version of things that we thought were the correct versions, and only experience birthed those things because we try to navigate things through our own lens. But to give up yourself is to know yourself. Because then when you let go of all the expectations for assistance, you'll never know what resentment is again. When you give up the expectation for, people coming through for you, you will never know what betrayal feels like. Because you never intended to even place trust in the very thing that you can't trust. And only then you can finally be free to be the best version of yourself. Come into the fullness of who you are. There's no feeling that can rival that. No feeling. Knowing that you're on your mission, knowing that you're on your marathon, knowing that you're working towards something. No one can tell you a thing. It's not a place of ignorance. It's from a place of security and conviction. Because it isn't man that made you believe in the thing that you haven't seen yet. It's God. So who are you, or who is anyone to come to you and say, oh, you can't do this, you shouldn't do that, you should do this, you should do that, when you're both in the exact same place, in the exact same position? You didn't source me, God sourced me. So there's nothing you could tell me that I can or can't do. Because how would you know? How would you know? And this is why I say, God tells you everything that you need to know, and He shows you everything that you need to do. Experience tells you some things, and it shows you some things. And don't get it wrong, I am not in any way, shape or form cancelling the validity in what you can learn from experience, because the lessons are very, very important. The foundations and the principles of the lessons that you will learn are what you should carry with you. I don't say live in the very thing that's already occurred, but know that when you approach that same junction, you will make the right choice this time based off of what happened in your previous encounter at this junction. So it's remembering the lesson but forgetting the teacher. That's what it is. And not everybody can go. Not everybody can go. And that's okay. You have to come to peace with that. That's okay. Because you realize what I hold and what I possess is so precious that I can't let other people stagnate that. I can't lose grip of the diamond I possess because I wanted to accommodate somebody else who was more than happy for me to risk what I already possess. People want to see you do better, just not better than them. Because once you do surpass people, envy comes into play. And the funny part is, you're not even conscious of this. You're not even doing this so you can become better than anybody. No, you're doing this so you can be the best version of yourself. Because there ain't even me versus you, and it's not even you versus you either. It's you and you. Because you need every single part of you that there is in order for you to get to where you're going. So it's like when you're coming into the fullness of who you are, you're not doing it because you want to be better than people. You're doing it because you know you hold something so precious, and as a man and as a woman, it's your responsibility to owe it to yourself, to see it through and to see what you can become. Because honestly, it stems down to the simple question of why not? I mean, you know, you've been in the same place for years. You've had the same mentality for years. You know, 5 years have gone by and not a single thing has changed in your life. So honestly, what do you have to lose? You don't have anything to lose, but you have everything to gain. So it's just about priority and understanding the harsh realities. Not everybody can go where you're going. And when you come to peace with that, you will feel the liberation. People will call it cynical, but just know it's really, in actuality, liberating. Because your purpose will set you free. God will set you free. And what you possess inside of you, all of that potential that is dormant, that power that is dormant inside of you, the moment you extract it, but better yet, I think the moment you come into the consciousness of what you possess, all of these choices that you have to make and these sacrifices you have to make will not feel difficult, because it will feel right. It will feel perfect. It will feel like you're meant to do that. And only then you will understand the true liberation of pursuing purpose and pursuing what you're called to do, what you're meant to do. Whether you're a lawyer, doctor, you know, musician, footballer, athlete, whatever that is. It could be anything. That pressure turns into joy when you understand the preciousness of what you possess. And when you understand the preciousness of what you possess, you will do anything to protect it. Because you see, principle is the chief of foundation. Better yet, the chief of potential. Because principle is the law of how you're meant to operate within the potential that's been given to you by God. So you're not going to do anything to jeopardize that. And that's just the reality. You know, and this is why I say experience teaches you some things, but it don't show you everything, because only God shows you everything. I can't be a mathematician but study science. Yeah, science will be beneficial for me, but it's not within the lane I'm in. And that's me disrespecting the principle of my potential. Because if my potential clearly indicates that I'm meant to be a footballer, why am I then going to maintain bad habits like eating rubbish and going to sleep at dumb times? Disrespecting the principle. But better yet, insulting yourself and insulting God in the process altogether. Because there's so much that you can do, but you're choosing to accommodate comfortability and accommodate what you've known when you could know something else and you could actually be a winner instead. The choice is ultimately up to us at the end of the day. So, the price of victory is higher, but the reward is just as higher. And if you think getting to the pinnacle is hard, just know the feeling of regret is 100 times harder. Not everybody can go.